Hey guys, welcome back to Kath Mikey Make a Podcast. I'm Kath, and I'm here with my co-host Mikey. And today we're talking about WandaVision again, but today is episode 6. Already. Yeah.
I heard this, and I did not substantiate this claim whatsoever, but I heard it from Mark Bernardin on the Fat Man Beyond podcast. He said the last 3 episodes of WandaVision are an hour long each.
Damn.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'll watch the whole hour. I don't
really
care.
Excited. I mean, that's 3 hours of
3
content.
hours of my life.
And I imagine the credits grow proportionately. So it's actually going to be a full 30-minute episode with 30 minutes of credits.
No, at least 15 minutes and 45 minutes of just episode.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, because, we're getting closer to the present day television where episodes are 45 minutes.
I think the next episode is going to be the Modern Family episode.
Oh. Ooh, baby.
Hello.
Yeah, I think you're the one that pointed out that the people in this episode are acting just like people still act in CW. But like it was normal.
I'm so glad you brought that up because I forgot.
Yeah, but they do act like what I remember from like 90s shows.
Totally.
Yeah,
and it shows
like
you
ABC
that those
shows
actually had a feel to them.
Yeah,
that does come off as like a little too goofy nowadays.
Yeah, but it was a thing. And also they were kind of trying to do Malcolm in the Middle and all those other shows.
It was well executed. There were a few things that I didn't like in terms of the blending of the sitcom reality and real reality.
Mm-hmm.
Like, before in earlier episodes, every time that it would break, there would be like a change in the way the camera looks or the music would stop. Here Vision specifically was seeing a lot of weird stuff going on, and the like sitcom music would keep playing.
Right?
So it was a confusing feeling.
But I think that's part of it.
I can't say that it's not. I just wish they had gone fully eerie. Like dropped the music and just Vision looking around at all these zombies in dead silence. But I think it still
like
worked.
that. It worked because, like this show is about what you see and what is actually true.
Yeah.
And many times they've done the whole like this looks so happy, but underneath is the whole what's happening. So I think that it works. And it comes through in the
writing too.
Yeah, and it makes you feel kind of. It made me feel weird. Like, why is there like goofy music playing in the background? Well, this is so serious. Like, what are these people okay?
I remember after we started the episode, like maybe 5 minutes in, I was like, oh, it's like Malcolm in the Middle or something like that. And you were just like, oh, that's why everyone's acting so weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you play back episodes of Malcolm in the Middle, they're fun. They're so fun.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I love Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah.
I remember when they put it on Netflix, I went through the whole thing over again, and I was like, it's so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when she first comes down the stairs, she sounds just like Malcolm's mom.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like the only time she does it in the episode.
Yeah.
But it's fun.
It's fun. It's a fun episode.
And that starts with the theme song.
The theme song, the kind of Malcolm in the Middle theme song.
Yeah. And this is great because it's so effective because it doubles as like an airheaded pop punk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Early 2000s opening.
Mm-hmm.
And also just like a devious, devilish whisper in Wanda's ear. Whether it's her subconscious or whether it's Mephisto or nightmare that, you know, everybody, including us, expects to be revealed at some point.
Yeah, kind of Doctor Strange villain to come over.
Because we know, you know, that's coming eventually.
Yeah, I was going to tell you that I often think about the people writing the theme songs, like the lyrics of all the theme songs throughout this show. Like, I think about them, and I keep them in my prayers at night, you know?
Yeah, like episode 2, where they just say WandaVision over and over again.
Well...
What does it mean?
What does it mean? No, I mean the first one. The first episode also had lyrics.
Yeah.
And the last episode had lyrics, too.
It did. Yeah. Family ties.
Yeah, family ties.
But I wrote down the lyrics for this one.
Wow.
And I'll read them off to you.
Amazing. Tell me more.
She's pretending like I haven't already told her this. Don't try to fight the chaos. Don't question what you've done. The game can try to play us. Don't let it stop the fun. Some days it's all confusion, easy come and easy go. But if it's all illusion, sit back and enjoy the show. Let's keep it going through each distorted day. Let's keep it going, though there may be no way of knowing who's coming by to play. Jesus Christ.
Oh, it's worse when you read it out loud.
Yeah, and
instead of the poppy like
in the credits. I mean, I know I voiced I voiced wanting Pietro to be himself from the X-Men movies, right? But this whole thing just makes me feel like it's too suspicious. It just feels like kinda it's not the case.
Kind of sus.
Especially in the opening credits, it says Pietro Maximoff
as himself. I wrote that down. Pietro Maximoff as himself. Like, what is that?
It seems a little too much like, I'm definitely Pietro. Don't you question that.
I am your brother. Why are you testing me?
Like everybody else, it just has their name, but it's like, no, it's me. It's me. Don't you worry about that. I look completely different. But
it's definitely Pietro.
And it's weird that you even brought it up.
Yeah. So many things of this episode. It has its highlights, but I just not even gonna do a recap. If you're this deep into the series, you don't even need a recap. You saw it, and if you didn't see it, well, it's great. Just it's like
we
super
dig it, man.
Cool. But basically, it's the what was this episode called? It's all new Halloween Spooktacular, which I love. I love those Halloween special episodes.
Yeah.
It's so nostalgic, at least for me. Mm-hmm. The other episodes aren't really, they're just fun because, you know, at least I used to watch kind of these shows like on, you know, on what is that called? On repeat when they put it on again?
Yeah, reruns.
Reruns, exactly.
Probably like Wanda.
But this one, it's like stuff I used to watch like when it came out, and I was excited for this episode because it was, you know, it had the whole all elements of the 90s Halloween, Disney Channel Halloween.
Yeah. Especially the kids' narration. I know it's supposed to be Malcolm in the Middle, but it felt so Disney Channel. Yeah. A Dorkosaurus Rex.
It did.
Tommy, you know what? When we grow up, one of us is going to be responsible, and the other one is going to ask me for money on holidays. Do you know which one I'm talking about, Tommy?
The man-child.
Billy, why is Tommy crying? Overstepped his bounds, Mom. You know what that's like.
Right? Right, Mom? Just looks at her. Like, okay, you guys have fun now.
Yeah.
But so it starts kind of like this. It's a Halloween episode, and
a lot of stuff they say in this has double meaning.
Everything they say, it's so much. I wrote a couple of things down.
Like you probably suppressed a lot of the trauma.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's worse than those. What was it? It's worse. Oh, because she's allegedly dressed not as the Scarlet Witch,
But as a Sokovian
fortune teller.
I like that explanation though. Like
I like it too.
To give a reason for that weird headdress.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's paying homage to her culture.
Yeah, which in the actual Scarlet Witch also is. That's a gypsy or it's supposed to be like Romany
so?
headdress. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is because spoiler from the comics, her mom, Natalia Maximoff, also wears a similar headdress when she meets her in the witch's corridor. Talking about Scarlet Witch 2015. And so, yeah, it has to do with her, well, in the comics, Romany heritage. And I imagine here it's Sokovian heritage.
Yeah.
Or, well, Sokovia is supposed to be like a Eastern Europe country.
Yeah.
Correct? Yeah. So it might be something about a Romany heritage, like back there.
And it's smart because it gives them a free pass to like say whatever they want about the culture.
Yeah.
They're like, what do you mean it's made up? You can't get offended, huh?
And the explanation for Vision's costume is supposed to be a Mexican like wrestler.
Me gusta mucho.
Ooh, chili con carne. When I watched it again, I cringe again when I heard it. I was like,
yeah, it is cringy.
Especially when you speak the language, you're like, ooh.
But I like when she first came down the stairs and she was like demonstrating her costume to her kids.
Oh.
I thought it was so cute.
Yeah.
Like her expressions.
Yeah, like she's so excited for that costume.
They're like, Mom, why are you so lame?
Well, Tommy says it's rad until Pietro says it's lame.
Yeah. That was one of the few jokes that was like in the sitcom reality yet still worked.
Yeah.
For me. There was one other one that makes me laugh literally every time, and I don't know why it keeps catching me by surprise.
Which one?
It's when Pietro pulls out the shaving cream for the water balloons.
Yeah.
And he's like, it was Tommy's idea. My name is Billy, and don't you forget it.
What's that? No, he said it was Timmy's idea, and he says, my name's Tommy, and don't you forget it. Yeah. Like he completely forgot his name. It's kind of weird.
Perfect.
Yeah, it is. But is it me, or is Vision both saying what he wants and saying what he's supposed to? There's like he's playing into the sitcom reality, but he's clearly aware of what's happening.
Yeah. No. Yes, definitely.
I'm not crazy.
You're not crazy.
Good.
Because he was clearly put off. Like, he has not let go of the explosive fight they had last episode.
Yeah.
And what a coincidence that he brings up that there are no children. And the very next episode is Halloween.
And all the children are out.
And all the children are out. And has there even been a hint that it's maybe even close to Halloween outside of the Hex?
No.
Like, it's clearly this is all for him.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, he comes down the stairs and he says, it was the only thing in my closet. So.
Yeah. And then he's like, ooh, but I like it. Yeah.
And I think in one way he's playing the part, but in another way, he saw the hurt on her face.
Mm-hmm.
He still loves her.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't want to make her sad, but he knows what she's doing is wrong and he wants to fix it.
Yes.
That's what I like to think, because it could be completely read as like, she's crazy and I need to fix this.
I think he still cares.
I think he still cares, yeah.
And that's why he's like trying to like toe the line. Like
he's trying to play into it while at the same time continuing to investigate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he's like, oh, I have to go to the neighborhood watch, which you later find out that it's not true. And she's like, that's not what you're supposed to.
In a way, he's the most effective neighborhood watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, no, that's not what you're supposed to do. That's kind of like what she wants to say. But at the same time, she just goes like, oh, it's their first Halloween. Like, you shouldn't be out.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Billy kind of sums it up. Well, he's like, oh, since since Pietro came by, like Uncle Pietro, like they're not fighting, just different.
And it is the first time, and you see this in the background, that Pietro acknowledges that the kid is narrating and breaking the fourth wall.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's because he has a vested interest in this illusion being successful.
Mm-hmm.
And clearly is interested in the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She just did an eyebrow waggle.
And what he says before he leaves Vision, he goes, "Wanda, be good."
Yeah. Yeah.
In the Paul Bettany accent.
Another double meaning.
And also the most awkward kiss ever. Kisses her in the cheek.
On the cheek, and you could see that broke her heart.
Yeah.
It's so sad.
And then he's like, "Oh, have a spooky Halloween," and leaves.
And, Pietro saw it too. He was just like, ugh. This is a mess. But this is when I saw the tattoo on Pietro's arm.
Mom?
When he scares her and she's like, "Don't do that."
Yes, Mom.
Mom. Yeah, which I was...
left arm?
Yeah, I told Catherine earlier that, I'm sure a lot of people know this already, but Kevin Feige said the hint for what's going on in Multiverse of Madness is in the title. That's because Multiverse of Madness, this crazy title, is also an acronym for Mom. And the tattoo is in red, which I know is a usual thing for mom tattoos, like the red heart. Mm-hmm. But what is on accident in this show?
I don't think anything's on accident.
Yeah.
Because it goes with the character, the whole man-child character, but at the same time, hint, hint, wink, wink to the audience. And
because why wouldn't you lay that in there if you knew where this was going? Mm-hmm. That's the advantage of planning years and years ahead. It's what everybody was complaining about with Star Wars. They're like, we have a feeling you don't know what you're doing.
Spoiler alert, like, they don't.
No. We know what we're doing. Come watch Rise of Skywalker. They're like, okay, so we were right.
Yeah, so you did this thing, and I even forgot the name of the episode 8.
Episode 8? The Last Jedi. Yeah,
they did this one thing in episode 8 in The Last Jedi, and then they completely fucked it in Rise of Skywalker.
They did. They did not stick to their guns whatsoever or have any confidence.
This is why I don't watch things on theaters anymore. The theater kind of
that's the only reason.
You into being like, "Whoa, this looks so big and wonderful," and you don't think about the storyline until you later start thinking, and you're like, "Did they make me care about this?"
I'm not ashamed to say that I enjoyed watching The Rise of Skywalker, and if I watched it again, I'd probably enjoy it. But I cannot deny that it just breaks everything.
Yeah, and you just have to like not think too hard on it and like believe.
Yeah.
It's like believe in like Tinkerbell.
You just have to watch it as like a misguided fan film.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, cool. It totally didn't cost like $1 billion to make this. Yeah.
It didn't cost $1 billion. It did not negate the redemption of Anakin Skywalker, which was built up over 6 movies, which were also very expensive to make. And all around that, this trilogy was a worthy exercise. I'm glad we did it. Mm-hmm. It definitely didn't repeat the last series and leave us in the exact same spot that we left in Return of the Jedi.
No.
And that's why we're talking about WandaVision.
Instead.
Yeah.
But back in the real world, there's like a whole pissing contest between Hayward and Monica.
Man, he's just really taking the gloves off.
What a dick holster, honestly. Wow.
Yeah, I like the exchange. Do you work for me? And Darcy being like, I don't actually know.
But I think there's this whole like it's more than just like Hayward versus Monica. There's like other themes going on and other. It's more like people that left versus people that stay.
Yeah.
And like in the blip and people that actually believe in superheroes versus people that are actually afraid of superheroes. There are a lot of things happening. Like, in one point, Hayward tells Monica, like, you people who left still have the luxury of optimism.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know what happened.
Yeah.
You don't know what it took to keep the lights on. And that's on itself pretty powerful. Like, it must have been horrifying, and not horrifying, just scary, that just half of humanity disappeared.
Your loved ones,
and just people that were around that just aren't. Like, even it's when people go away, like when people die, they might have not been like so important in your life, but you're like, oh, this person is not here anymore.
Yeah.
And also the fact that happens, and then heroes all of a sudden like just bail.
Yes. Well,
and heroes
whether it's fair or not, I could see a world in which they're like, yeah, for one thing, you Avengers, you heroes, you failed. And for another, you brought this on us. Mm-hmm. Because they wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you, which isn't necessarily true, but I can see someone taking that perspective.
Yeah.
And Hayward was obviously really out of line.
Definitely.
Especially with what he said about her mom.
Yeah,
But she was also, I think she overstepped a little by saying, don't use the last 5 years as an excuse to be a coward.
Yeah.
Which, on one level, fair. On another level, you weren't here. Mm-hmm. You don't know what it was like.
Yeah, it's like, well, I want to say that he was a dick. On the other hand, like looking at...
Mostly he is.
He is, in general. That, yeah. And he's clearly like not
because he doesn't
a main
have to
antagonist.
Be like, which one of you is a sassy best friend? Like, he doesn't have to go there.
Yeah, well, what are you doing? Like, he's clearly... that we know of, he's not necessarily the main antagonist. But clearly he's not on our side.
Yeah, he's not on the up and up because
no.
He clearly, I think it's obvious that they're trying to take Vision apart to figure out how to weaponize that.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Even though they're like, oh, like his living will was that he wasn't supposed to be used. He didn't want to be used as a weapon. You're like, but what were you doing?
They're using that as ammunition against Wanda while at the same time, trying to do the exact thing he didn't want.
Exactly. And Wanda isn't even weaponizing him. She's just like a broken soul trying to bring him back.
Misses him.
Yeah, it's...
You asshole.
Obviously, for the under the belt move when he says, good thing you weren't here when your mom died because you don't have the stomach for this job.
Mm-hmm. And then take her away. Take it away.
Yeah. Take them away because Jimmy Woo and Darcy just went with her.
Yeah, they did. I heard a great theory.
Tell me.
It is that Vision... Okay, Hayward is obviously expressing some anti-metahuman...
language, which we've seen before.
Language, behavior.
Racist.
What if him and Sword has learned from Vision becomes the blueprint for what ends up being the Sentinels?
Huh.
Yeah, right?
Huh.
It's smart.
Yeah.
It totally fits. Because if Wanda ends up being the cause of mutants, which I feel like it's impossible for that not to be the case.
Yeah.
Then, Sentinels and anti-mutant sentiment has to rise at the same time. Otherwise, the purpose of the X-Men is kind of negated. Like, in a world where everybody likes superheroes, you cannot use X-Men as a metaphor for marginalized people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and we've seen already in this world, the one I always remember is, do you remember that episode from first season of Jessica Jones? Mm-hmm. Where she gets like a client that turns out that actually wants to kill her?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think it's because one of her family got
something
killed.
Terrible happened during the invasion of New York.
Yeah.
So she blames all metahumans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we see bits and pieces of that. I think we see it a little bit more from what I remember from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. against the Inhumans.
Right.
I don't know if they're bringing Inhumans into this side of the MCU.
Highly doubt it. I think
want
they
them to.
want to stay as far away from that as possible.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, I think they've already said that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. isn't really canon.
Really?
Yeah.
Did I waste my time watching that show?
It was fun sometimes in its own right.
Can we just keep like Ghost Rider and some other things and then just forget the rest?
Well, yeah, they're doing multiverse, so why not?
Yeah.
You can blend them together. This is what CW did. Because Supergirl was in a different reality from Flash for a long time, and eventually they just merged everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like all the worlds got destroyed and there's one left.
Yeah, and CW is the best example you can use for any project you're doing, really. Their writing is on point. Their CGI is on point.
I just want everyone to know that I'm getting Mikey committed to a mental hospital right now. This is unacceptable behavior.
CW is for the people. It's for the people. Christ. It's for the people. It's for the people.
For the children. Anyway, we're going to ignore you said any of that. But, I don't know if you have any other comments on that part.
Well, I have Hayward is out of line. Back to the sitcom. Pietro does not answer any of Wanda's questions.
Not really.
He just diverts attention.
Yes. And a point I wanted to make is that at some point where the kids are running around, he says, "Unleash hell, demon spawn." And I was like,
another one of those double meaning moments.
Yeah. Are they actually demon spawn?
And it makes me wonder, because it's still not certain, like, are they trying to just make us think that it's definitely the case, or is he accidentally being suspicious?
Yeah, is it a red herring? Or is this actually what's happening?
Because honestly, I would be more surprised if he actually ended up being Pietro. And that would be a mind-blowing move.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. It's like, oh, actually she got it wrong. Even though she was incredibly suspicious, he really does just look different.
Yeah, she pulled him out from another universe.
But I feel like it can't be.
I don't know. I don't know what to believe anymore. I do like that they brought also he got into the comics costume.
Yeah.
With the whole lightning
and the big hair.
And the big hair, the ridiculous big hair.
Ridiculous. Did you notice the kick-ass thing?
I kind of did. She went kick-ass.
Yeah.
But what did he say?
Well, he was gonna cause some mayhem with
the
Tommy.
Kids. Yeah, with Tommy and
and the kid
Billy.
was like kick ass, and then they take off in super speed, and she goes kick ass.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the actor that played Pietro, and the actor that played her actual brother, who was the star of Kick Ass, they were in the same movie together.
Shit! Sorry.
The X-Men Quicksilver was his best friend in the movie Kick-Ass.
I forgot that. Oh. So Evan Peters was in Kick-Ass.
Yeah, Evan Peters was in Kick-Ass, and her brother was literally Kick-Ass.
Yeah.
So Dan Murrell brought this up in his review, which he attributed it to it's 3 a.m. maybe I'm reaching. But he was saying in a multiverse reality, our reality is part of that. So what if Wanda was picking up on the fact that the person who played her brother also played this character in Kick-Ass, and it was just a weird wires crossed kind of Kick-Ass.
Yeah.
Why would she linger on it for a second?
Damn.
Yeah. Also, somebody pointed out in the subtitles it had the hyphen, just like the movie, Kick-Ass.
Damn! I forgot that Evan Peters was in Kick-Ass.
Yeah, me too.
Completely. Also, that Kick-Ass was a movie.
It's so long ago.
With what's her face and Nicolas Cage.
I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed the first one.
Yeah.
And
I didn't see the second.
I think I saw parts of the second and it wasn't bad, but then again, I would need to sit down to watch it.
Which Jim Carrey was in, and Pietro happened.
Oh, he was that soldier guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just crazy bastard. Bad
Crazy
teeth.
bastard.
Yeah.
And yeah, like we said, Wanda's trying to kind of like test Pietro to see if it's actually him. Like, do you remember
You're
this
testing
kid?
me.
Yeah. It's like, oh, it's actually me. Like, I heard you calling. Well, he says that kind of later.
Yeah.
But he does say something, if I found Shangri-La, I wouldn't want to be remembered of the past either.
I think he's just trying to pull anything he can out of his ass.
Yeah.
Because he realizes she's suspicious. No, I don't trust him at all, and neither does she.
No, it's fair, especially when he doesn't have her brother's face.
Yeah.
Like, I'd be suspicious.
But he's doing some sort of magic that, like, makes it feel like her brother. But it's, I hope they explain some of the mechanics of this. Because why would you feel like it's Pietro? And if it is Mephisto or Nightmare, why would they not be able to just make that form? Maybe she could see through it if it was a full-on illusion and they needed to use a different body.
I guess.
Yeah.
But it would make sense if he's from another universe and he has the details wrong, kind of, because things happen different in another universe.
I had that thought too. Yeah.
So it also makes sense. These people at Marvel.
It's hard.
I do like that they keep us at our toes.
Yes.
First of all, because we get to do a podcast about it. Second, because it actually means that it's good.
Yeah, yes.
And not in a bad way.
It actually gives us
it's good.
Something to chew on each week.
Yeah, and it's not something that's like, this doesn't make any sense in that it's badly written. It doesn't make sense because it's properly written. And I love that.
Yeah.
I'm on board.
Absolutely.
I'm in the choo-choo train now. Do you notice that Herb, she meets him, he's in the neighborhood watch?
I was about to mention Herb.
But Herb, obviously, he's like, oh, there's the whole hijinks of, they're telling him what they're doing. Like,
the pumpkins are smashed.
Oh, the pumpkins are smashed and they're stealing the candy, whatever. But he sees that she's kind of worried because she just learned that Vision isn't actually in the neighborhood watch. He didn't have he wasn't working for the neighborhood watch that night. But Herb says, is there something I can do for you, Wanda? Want something changed?
Yeah.
Almost like he sounds like a waiter, or at your.
Oh my God! I had the same thought.
Yeah, oh, would you would you like me to put the wine over here? Would you like me to do this? Are you okay? Is everything cool? Are you comfortable?
And you see her reacting no, it's fine. And I feel like in that moment, the way she looks at him and reacts to him, she's finally grappling with the ethics of having a town of slave people. Because there's the one side of her that cares about people. Like Pietro says later, you've always been the empathetic twin. Where she's she wants everybody to be okay in this happy reality that she has, but at the same time, she's like, God, everybody is afraid of me.
I want to do a video essay of the ethics of... I wrote it down. The ethics of the Maximoff anomaly.
You should.
Because it's interesting, the ethics of the kids. What do you do with the kids? What is
And we don't know the full extent of it yet.
Right. We don't. And we also see which I guess we can. That's my next point.
The commercial?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Because we first see that the neighbors, when you go farther from the town square, the neighbors in the outskirts of the town, they look like glitchy NPCs in a video game.
Yeah, like in the Rick and Morty episode, with the where they have the whole hologram illusion that Rick is stuck in, and the more Rick tests the system, the more glitchy the NPCs get. Like, it doesn't have enough bandwidth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like it kind of looks like
that. It looks a lot like that. Yeah.
Like, and I think the image that most stuck with me was because we're seeing this through Vision, who's going farther from the town. There's the lady that's trying to that she keeps doing the same move, trying to put up her Halloween decorations, and she's like, you see that there's a tear coming down, and her husband, what seems to be her husband, it's like keeps putting down the pumpkin and up, and he goes down and up with like putting a pumpkin down, and he goes back up again.
I have something more to say to this, and I think it relates to the commercial.
Yes.
Yes.
I just wanted to say that I guess I got the experience of Cyberpunk 2077 without actually playing the video game.
You asshole.
So I'm excited that I get to be a part of such a big community now.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, there's the ad.
Yes, the ad.
Such nostalgia with that ad.
Totally.
But then they just yank it out of my guts,
it was,
out of my ass.
It was so fucked up that I expected the kid's fingernails to come off as he was pulling on the
Me too.
yogurt thing. Yeah?
Yeah,
you too.
Because his fingernails are so noticeable.
Were chattering it was so... Yeah, but the kid was like, I'm starving, and a shark comes out of the water. A shark, which is always the symbol of, help, health, assistance.
Right, yeah, sure.
Somebody who has your best
interest
in mind.
At heart.
Yeah, your best interest at heart. And he brings them, I used to be like you, hungry. But then I started snacking on Yo Magic. And he gives them the...
Like a yogurt?
Yeah, the yogurt.
It's supposed to be like a Go-Gurt commercial.
Can't open it.
And then he dies of starvation.
He dies of starvation.
What the fuck?
Gradually becomes a skeleton.
I literally wrote, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And they say at the end, Yo Magic, the snack for survivors.
Nobody eats it in the whole commercial, which for something that they're trying to sell, impossible, would never happen. Somebody has to eat the thing during the commercial.
Someone has to squirt yogurt into their mouths in order for me, the consumer, want to eat the yogurt.
Yeah, what color is that yogurt? I need to see it.
I kept expecting the yogurt to come out, and I imagine it would be like that, pinkish.
Yeah,
pinkish.
Yeah,
from the Go-Gurt. Pinkish white.
We both remember.
It had a strawberry on top. That's why it felt so. I don't know.
It was incredibly frustrating.
Yeah, and uncomfortable.
Yeah,
because it was I've seen these commercials. It reminded me of particularly. I remember it because I used to eat Apple Jacks.
Me too.
Cinnamon. Yeah, the cinnamon kind of character.
Yeah, the claymation
thing. Yeah, which was very popular back then.
Totally. It came on so much.
Also, the
Cartoon
Chips
Network.
Ahoy commercials. I don't know if you remember them. Chips Ahoy had commercials, and it was claymation.
I watched all the commercials for no reason.
Yeah, I even watched. I don't remember if it was after the Super Bowl that they would... No. I don't know. But there was back then, it might be around the 2000s, there was a show that was about the funniest commercials, and there was commercials from all around the world that were funny. I would even watch that. I like commercials, even if I don't buy the shit.
No, I enjoyed commercials too, but I think it was just by being beaten over the head with them, waiting for the show to come on.
And eventually you're like, oh, I remember the jingle now. Let me dance to it.
Last episode that we did, I made the joke of, and I don't even think it came across, where I was like, what does it mean with the commercial? Because it was so obvious that it was the accidental death of 13 Wakandans when Wanda was in Lagos. So that was the point of that commercial. It was on the nose, much like the other ones. This is the first one where I'm actually asking, what does it mean?
Yeah,
And
Yeah, I actually thought that you have answers for me. I'm disappointed now.
No, I have a theory, and I don't know if they're going to go this dark. But Jimmy Woo, later on in the episode, is looking at the surveillance Hayward has on Vision that he did not share with anyone else.
Yeah, I think he's measuring, he's tracking the decay signatures of vibranium.
Yeah.
Which Vision gives off.
And Jimmy says, so he must have some sense of the well-being of the people in Westview. And the people on the outskirts, he goes, they're not moving. Are they even alive? And it makes me wonder if this commercial has to do with Wanda and even how this episode ends. And obviously it has to do with Wanda. They all have to do with Wanda. But I think what we were talking about with the bandwidth of her magic, people on the outskirts, she doesn't have enough power to like make them go through their day to day. So maybe they aren't close enough to Yo magic or her magic to get to be sustained. Like maybe they are slowly dying.
Or like starving.
Staying still. And starving because she can't do anything with them, but they also are not allowed to interfere. She can't have a bunch of people who remember the real world, so she has to control them in some way.
That's so fucked up.
She freezes everybody at the end of the episode when she expands the hex. Does she have the bandwidth to expand the hex and also control everyone? Because if not, it's going to be a real problem.
Ooh.
Because if all of this comes undone and a bunch of people drop dead, then that is a big deal. She has not only traumatized people, but she has ruined the lives of a lot of people.
Yeah, again, what are the ethics of this all?
I don't know if they're going to go that dark because it's hard. I mean, Loki killed a bunch of people and everybody loves him.
Yeah.
So they could go there, but I don't think they will.
No.
I hope they do.
I hope they do. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they did.
Yeah. So after the commercial?
Like, Wanda, it's kind of, again, questioning Pietro. Kind of like, what's your thing? Why are you here? And he says, like, I didn't write down exactly what he says, but what the whole idea, it's like, kind of sounds like what he's doing is part of a script. Like, I just came here to, like, come back to town unexpectedly, like have cause, what did he say? Something with the brother-in-law.
Yeah.
Like fool around with the kids and in the end give you grief.
He was just describing the plot of any Malcolm in the Middle episode where Francis shows up.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
And she points out, like, what happened with your accent? And he goes, what happened to yours?
Again, diverting attention. And I feel like we had the exact same notes because, that was next up for me. I feel like every time he's backed up into a corner, he plucks at her heartstrings.
Yeah.
Because he knows she's vulnerable.
So sneaky.
Yeah. So
shady.
Whenever he's like, I knew that you needed me.
Yeah.
Hey, you can talk to me.
I heard you calling and
it's like that's
came back.
Exactly what she wants. Because as she says later, she felt so alone. She just needs somebody to talk to.
Jesus. And it's so sad.
Yes.
That's happening. Well, one of the scenes that I think everyone's talking about, but, we're going to talk about it too, is the scene between Agnes and Vision. As he keeps investigating in the outskirts of town. He finds her... and it's interesting when he turns into Vision and he like goes up in the air and he hears like all the commotion in the town square, and then,
I liked that moment.
Yeah, and then towards the outskirts, like it's silent, and he sees her car and he goes down, and it's so interesting what goes on between them because he wakes her up as he did with Norm, and because she's like she got lost, quote unquote, and
almost like she had a stroke. But it just seems like she got far enough away from Wanda
that she couldn't operate.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, and she when she wakes up, she goes like, "Oh my God, you're Vision! You're the Vision! You're an Avenger!" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm here to help. But what's an Avenger?"
Yes.
So he doesn't remember he's an Avenger at all.
Nope.
He doesn't even...
He truly doesn't remember
He truly
anything.
doesn't know who he is, basically. Besides the fact that he's the Vision and he loves Wanda. Mm-hmm. That's his only trait.
Yep.
Character trait. He's the Vision. He loves Wanda.
And again, what I brought up last episode is that that's why I think he reacted so much to Wanda. You used your powers right in front of her. Mm-hmm. It's like that was the one thing that they were supposed to do. Like, the one thing that he had. Like, I'm with Wanda, I'm Vision, and we are in this together, and we need to keep our powers a secret. Mm-hmm. And she's just breaking that. And he's like, wait.
His core trait.
Yeah, I thought this is what we were supposed to be doing.
Yeah. Which back then it didn't make as much sense, but now it makes sense.
Yeah.
And she goes, it's funny that's what's in the trailers when she goes like, am I dead? And he's like, no. And why would you say that? And she goes, because you are?
Because I'm what?
Yeah.
And she just repeats it.
Dead! And
it's messed up.
There's also the fact that he's like, what, like the whole idea of leaving, and she says, no one leaves. Wanda won't even let us think about it.
Do you think that this is sincere or that this is a misdirect? Like a purposeful misdirect by her?
I think it seems sincere.
It did.
To me.
Yes, it did seem sincere.
So
either she's a really good actress.
Both in the sitcom and in real life.
We know she's a good actress in real life.
She's definitely a good actress.
But in the sitcom reality. Mm-hmm.
I have my theory is that people under the hex are slowly going insane.
It's very possible. Yeah, based on her behavior. Makes sense.
The whole cackling part, yeah, I'd say.
I think it's worth mentioning that Norm said, you have to stop her. And he did not bring up a name. And Agnes specifically brings up Wanda. I think for that reason...
Oh.
Yeah.
Damn it. I didn't notice that. Gosh darn it.
I think for that reason, it is a misdirect. But it makes me wonder, are there conflicting parties here vying for Wanda's power? You know, we're assuming that there's a third party.
But what if they're different? Like a couple of third parties that are all fighting to control her.
Because Pietro is... Or maybe it's just the way they're dividing up the work between Vision and Wanda, but Pietro is like, keep the illusion going. This is great. I'm proud of you, sis. Mm-hmm. No, I don't think what you're doing is a bad thing. And Agnes is like, Vision, you can't stop her. Just, what's the point in trying?
Yeah, we can't leave.
Yeah.
We're just stuck here.
And the way she was stuck, what she said, she was like, I took a wrong turn. Got lost. Yeah. Is that like what happened to her in her life?
I don't know.
Like, what is she?
Well, she's definitely, she kept driving probably and got stuck in Ellis Avenue, which you're not supposed to go.
But everything in this episode has double meaning.
My brain is going to explode soon with this show.
It's going to feel so good.
Oh, yes. It's going to be amazing.
So what's your note for after that? The Agnes.
That Vision went past Ellis Avenue. He did exactly what he wasn't supposed to do.
She said not to. Don't feed it after
midnight. Even the kids know. Shouldn't go past Ellis Avenue.
Yeah, what are you, dumber than a kid?
You're dumber than your own kids.
You're supposed to go Halloween.
Yeah, you're dumber than Wicked and Speed.
I guess he chose trick instead of treat.
Why am I laughing?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm so sorry that I put you
too much.
in the position.
And I laugh. It's ridiculous. I'm embarrassed for myself at this point. It's embarrassing.
Okay.
And we see Vision walk past Ellis Avenue, and then we're back at the town square with Wanda and Pietro, and he brings up the kids. And it's like, where were you hiding all these kids?
But before that, Westview, New Jersey is charming as hell.
Yeah, interesting.
Hello.
Interesting.
Very.
So.
Man with devil horn hair.
Yes.
Anyways.
No.
Yeah. Where were you keeping all these kids?
Yeah, and he's asking her like, how do you do all this? And like, you can talk to me, like you can talk to me, which is kind of sus. Again, but it seems that she's genuinely answering to the question with, I don't know. She doesn't know how she did all this, which is interesting. Mm-hmm. That she just doesn't know. What she says is like she just remembers being like utterly alone.
Yes.
And like with no one, and then she sees him dead with bullet holes,
shot like he was in Age of Ultron.
And then he asks like, "Are you okay?" And she goes, "No, yeah, I'm good." And he's like,
Yeah. And if he is a bad egg, mm-hmm. Then it makes me wonder. She was finally sharing her actual feelings with someone.
Yeah.
And what he asked for was, how did you do this? Mm-hmm. Not, how are you feeling, Wanda? Are you okay? Mm-hmm. That showing her something that would horrify her and make her want to recede into the illusion. Yeah, that's some devil shit.
Some devil shit.
So it could be that, or I don't know. Like, I'm not sure if it's her reality falling apart because he doesn't look like Pietro. So why would he have the same bullet holes
than the actual Pietro in this reality?
She's definitely being messed with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel bad for her.
Yeah, it sucks.
Because she's clearly a woman in mourning.
And you know she's going to get blamed for all of this when it's over.
Definitely, as she did in the comics.
Like, it's not going to be like, oh, it was the devil. Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, you're under arrest.
She's going to Avengers jail.
Yeah.
To this. I don't know. I feel bad for her.
It's sad.
I feel it's sad. It's when you really think about it, like it looks fun, but when you really think about it, it's very sad.
Yeah.
It's depressing.
Yes.
She needs to go to therapy.
For sure.
Yeah.
Real world.
In the real world, we're back with the trio, the three amigos. You know who they are.
Oh, yeah.
Monica, Jimmy, Darcy. Boom. And I guess they got cast out and then they snuck back in. Little hijinks of their own. And Darcy's like cracking into the server.
Why did no one tell me the plan?
Yeah. And Monica wants to go back into the Hex, but Darcy shows her that she shouldn't. Because she's been rewritten.
Because as all movie scientists, she's an expert in all fields.
Yeah, not just astrophysics. She knows about molecular biology too.
Impressive, Darcy.
I mean, that's a basic class in college for
I know
biology. Like
yeah.
But then again, she's astrophysics. Maybe she just has a minor in biology that we don't know of.
We don't need to
she has to take all those courses.
Go into the details.
She got cell biology.
Whatever.
And
Darcy's
molecular.
smart. Who cares?
Who cares? I care. I want to know her curriculum in college. This is just me. Okay.
Email Marvel.
We're gonna move on. And she shouldn't go back, but apparently, where she's just hacking into the server. just
into the mainframe.
Into the mainframe.
That's where they need to get.
Yeah, movie hacking, how it works. She apparently finds something that makes her go, like Darcy, I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Makes her go, Hayward, you sneaky bastard. And
emails it to Jimmy.
We don't know what that is.
Beforehand, she said there's something big that I think Hayward's hiding behind this firewall that it could help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that how you hide things, behind a firewall?
I have no idea. But I do know at the end of the episode, she's the only one that gets swallowed. Monica, Jimmy, and Hayward escape the hex as far as we know. Yeah.
So it would be interesting to see her in 2000s getup. But there's this other thing that Monica says, that her guy is almost here.
Yeah.
Which confirms it's a man.
She just has to meet him over the ridge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Who's the guy?
I want it to be Reed Richards. That's just my
desperately
opinion.
want it to be that.
Yeah, but
like, if you want a way to end the next episode, that's how you do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you imagine they just show us the sideburn? The white sideburn?
Yeah. No, I can imagine. We know Monica is it Photon or Spectrum? Which one is it?
No, Photon is Maria. Like her mom.
Okay, so she's Spectrum.
Okay.
So is this how she gets her powers? Does that mean Wanda's hex in itself alters people's DNA to be able to...
Well, it definitely... Like, what Darcy says is that it definitely rearrange her at a molecular level.
Yeah, if it rearranged her clothes, her Kevlar vest into bulletproof 70s attire. Yeah, I didn't even consider what it would be doing to people's cells.
Yeah. I think it would be awesome if we can see like her actually becoming like a powered, like a metahuman.
I don't know how you explain. I mean, I think we're definitely going to see that. But in this sense, like with Wanda, I don't know how they're going to explain it. But it does set precedent for Wanda being able to alter people's DNA.
To the point that she makes them into metahumans? Which
sets the stage for the X gene. Yeah. Yeah. Basically.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
We also see Vision after that getting out of the hex, or trying to get out of the hex, which I thought it was visually impressive, like how
I agree.
The whole design of him trying to get out and it trying to pull him back.
I didn't consider that, but it looked really good.
Yeah, I thought it looked amazing. Like, it looked painful.
And do you notice?
It looked like he was feeling pain. But not that that's amazing, like someone feeling pain, but how it looked, it looked good.
Okay, well, let me say first that this affected me emotionally. Seeing him like that, writhing like that.
Yeah.
Just based on the time we've spent with him on this show. Because in a way, it's a new Vision.
Yeah.
Not the one we saw. And it made me feel bad to see him in pain because in this episode, he had his Captain America on the grenade moment. Where he says, help. And I thought immediately, it is so weird that Vision is scared for his life. Like, it doesn't seem in character.
But he's not scared for his life.
He says, help, you have to help them. And it is such a pure thing that comes from inside. It's such a heroic thing for him to say.
He's a hero.
And from his first appearance, he's like, I'm not Ultron and I'm not Jarvis. I'm on the side of life. Like, he wants to protect life. And I thought that was beautiful. And what I noticed is when he died in Infinity War, I thought this is going to progress the story in an interesting way. But I wasn't like, oh no, Vision. Because I liked him. But there wasn't much there. Because they didn't have the time to explore him. But now that I know that he's a person who loves, a person who gets scared, a person who wants everyone to be okay. Who
considers the ins and outs of Wanda is doing.
And
like,
what's right and what's
the
wrong.
ethics, and I know I keep saying that, but he's the one that makes you question.
Yeah.
In the first,
on Kevin Smith's podcast, they pointed out that he is your point of view character in any given dystopian sci-fi. He's Neo in the Matrix. He's somebody who's figuring out that everything around him isn't real, which makes his side of the story very interesting.
Yes.
And it's funny that a show called WandaVision, it's half Wanda, half Vision. In the last half, it's coming at it from Vision's perspective, right? Yeah, but I just thought that him putting himself at risk to save these people was beautiful.
Yeah. I definitely thought it was. And the stakes are high because it's clearly that he doesn't exist really outside the hex.
But he didn't turn into Grey Vision.
No, he didn't. Not.
Which I expected, right? Did you?
I wasn't sure if he'd turn it. I thought he was just like he would get out and fall dead.
Exactly.
But it seems like the hex is like pulling him in, and he's like trying to get out. It's this whole like dynamic.
There's a little crossover
between him and the hex.
Notice he still has the Mind Stone when he comes out of the
hex. He does.
Yeah.
And even as he's like falling apart, he still has the Mind Stone.
Which makes me wonder, did she create a Mind Stone?
I don't know, but we do know that she can rewrite things or rewrite reality in a way that when it gets out of the hex, it still exists in our reality, like in the real reality,
which they
like in the
pointed to earlier.
Yeah, we've
with
done
Monica's clothing.
Monica's clothing, the rope of the guy in the hazmat suit that becomes a jump rope.
Yes.
Like it exists in this reality too, in outside of the hex. I mean, so the fact
that they're setting that up for a reason.
I feel like they are, and it means that Vision with enough work from outside forces could again exist in this reality.
Yeah, agreed.
I mean, in the comics, Vision for a while is not himself.
He was all one color for a while.
Yeah, he was white for a while.
Yeah, I remember from the Super Nintendo Avengers game, which was frustrating as hell. I don't recommend that game. But that was my first exposure to the Vision. And was him in all white.
All white, yeah. I can't remember right now, but he basically lost his entire identity. Like it was like a reboot on him, and he's like that's kind of why the relationship between Wanda and Vision deteriorates.
Because he changes.
Yeah, and he's like, you're not. Well, I know that you were my wife, but you're not my wife anymore, and these are not my kids anymore.
Oh shit! That's probably gonna happen.
That might happen.
That's gonna break her heart.
Yeah,
more than
and then she goes
broken.
crazy. She goes insane.
I feel so bad for her. God damn it.
Yeah, and
she
then
can't catch a break.
Yeah, and then
she
kills everyone, I think, including Vision at a point.
Well, he deserved it. He didn't want her anymore.
And the kids kind of disappear, and then the mind wipe happens. You know what?
What I keep
and then
going
House of M
to,
happens, and I can't explain all of that right now.
I keep going back to that line in Civil War, which I feel like is made more and more sad the deeper we get into this show. Where Tony has her trapped. You know, he's keeping her at the Avengers compound, and it's for her safety. And
was she on the side of Captain?
She ends up that way, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Because Tony is making Vision keep her in captivity.
Okay.
And
oh right, yeah, I remember.
Steve yells at Tony. He was about to sign the Accords. But that's what tipped him over. And he goes, she's just a kid, Tony. And that's the line that I keep going back to. Like, they put her in all these terrible situations. And she really was just a kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
she just hasn't had enough support. They broke her.
And now they expect her to.
Like, too strong.
She is
not enough support.
Yeah, she's very strong. Like, and it's not like she has the most. She's like, the strongest of like minds with all the shit that's happened to her.
Yeah.
It's what happens in the comics. Eventually, she like breaks. She breaks. That's what brought everything, like all of it. Like, House of M, like Avengers disassembled. She just broke down and had a mental breakdown that just broke everything. The Avengers reality. It broke everything.
You know that?
And yeah, I think that's what's coming up to.
Yeah,
definitely.
For sure. I mean, if she's going to be the through line for 2 movies after this, yeah, it's a big deal.
It's a big deal. Yeah.
But somebody pointed out, that piece of art that I said I liked where Wanda's, the back of her head is kind of breaking up into cubes?
Oh, the art that I sent you, the alternative art, that was an art that I found. I was reading Scarlet Witch, the 2015 run they did, which is very good and I recommend. And I think I was reading volume 1 and that was at the end of volume 1. They call it the hip hop cover and I like that. Yeah, that's why I sent it. It's
great. I love that piece of art.
But I think it's also paying homage to something in the comics that kind of like looks like her. She's just like breaking apart in like pixels. Not sure about that yet, but I'm pretty sure I've seen it. I have to go back to that.
Somebody pointed out.
Sorry. Yeah.
No, it's okay. Somebody pointed out that when she gets blipped, the way she like tilts her head back, like, and her face in that, I always notice this since the first time I saw it in theaters, that it looks like it's such a sweet release for her.
Oh.
Like she's finally glad to die.
Jesus.
But somebody pointed out that it's very similar visually, the way she tilts her head back and like that's where it starts breaking apart. And you don't know, like they could pull a switcheroo on us and be like, everybody who got blipped got altered in some way. Like they didn't come back the same.
And now they're
X-Men. Yeah, Spider-Man is also an X-Man.
Yeah.
Web's coming out my butt now.
That would be crazy, but he already had the power, so.
Yeah, so whatever. Where were we?
We were talking about Vision, but we
hex.
know, yeah, but he came out of the hex. We know that now Tommy can run fast, and Billy is a telepath.
Yes, but hang on. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry to
interrupt
you. But when he came into the hex, Darcy's like, help him.
Yeah.
And nobody was doing anything. Again, more proof that they want to use him as a weapon. They do not care about saving its life. They care about recovering its body. But continue what you were saying.
No, and she gets stuck. They put her in handcuffs and they don't release her, and that's why she gets into the hex, which sucks. But at the same time, I'm interested in what's gonna happen and how Darcy will play a role in this, like a more active role. But anyway, we realize that Tommy can run fast. Billy is a telepath, which I think we talked about earlier, that not in the podcast, but how they're probably setting up for Young Avengers, how they're gonna become Speed and Wiccan. But Speed and Wiccan are technically reincarnated versions of the original children of Wanda that weren't really the children of Wanda. Were actually
so complicated.
Like, children with the souls of demons and so complicated.
They're actually shards of a demon's soul that Mephisto decided to reabsorb.
And now then,
but it's not in this reality. But it was actually an offshoot from the ultimate reality, in which that's where Miles Morales comes from, and we know they are doing Spider-Verse. And...
Anyway. Billy, which is a telepath, he's the one that realizes that Vision is actually in trouble, and that's when Wanda decides to expand the hex. Wow.
She freezes everybody and just expands it.
And I love
without a second thought.
I love the visual of they just pan to her face and her eyes turning red, and that whole scene is awesome because it looks very like the comic, like it looks like a comics panel of just her face.
Yes.
Also, it looks like it looks like the picture I saw you. That's now my like my desktop.
Oh wow, that's great.
Where
it's like a combination between her and Vision.
Yeah, it's a fan art I found.
It looks great.
But
beautiful.
Yeah. Anyway,
I wish that scene had actually looked visually a little different. Like, you know, when we talked about Wonder Woman and I said Patty Jenkins really knows how to make something look iconic. I feel like sometimes Marvel is missing that. Like, I loved the episode, and I clearly like a lot of their content. But I was thinking, like, the visual for what Wanda did there could have been so much more...
Sharper?
Could have been more rich. Like, imagine if Billy had mentioned the sword agents, and that...
I think he's dying.
Like he did, I think he's dying. You could have given her an acting moment where she's just like, she's putting together that Vision was out, you know, seeking them out. Putting together that sword isn't leaving them alone. See her get pissed for a moment. Like, her eyes start to water up. And then you slowly see the red coming up.
See, the thing is... finish.
Her hair and cape start to raise a little bit, and people start to freeze, and then the magic starts expanding.
Okay.
Like, I think that would have been beautiful.
I feel like DC makes things for trailers, and Marvel actually delivers.
Yeah.
But I get what you say, like what you're saying, that they could have made it a little bit more cinematic.
Yes, it could have been like a real moment there, because that... I know she decided to do that in a split second, but it is a big deal.
Yeah.
What she does.
Yeah.
I just wish that would have been backed up by the visuals a little more.
Yeah, it seemed pretty quick, but then again, they're showing the split second thought process.
Yes.
Like, I have to do this now. And yeah, I understand what you're saying.
It's a little gripe. Like, it doesn't ruin anything for me. I just think they missed an opportunity.
Yeah. I just think it's funny how the sword camp turned into a carnival, like a circus.
It makes sense.
And the agents turn into clowns.
She would see them as a circus of clowns. Like, these dumbasses, they tried to shoot me with a rocket.
Stupid.
Are you kidding me?
Demented.
Yeah.
And that's how the episode ends, basically.
Yeah.
I don't think that Monica and Jimmy got caught in...
Nope. Monica, Jimmy, Hayward.
Yeah,
all seemingly escaped.
Yeah, seemingly escaped.
By a hair. It was still expanding when the episode ended.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. But, yeah, and then it's over.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
Amazing.
I hope what I heard was true, and I hope the next 3 are an hour long, because what a treat.
Yeah.
That would be. It would make up for
like
some
3 movies.
For some of these episodes being like 25 minutes.
Yeah, definitely. I'm excited.
I'm really excited. I can't believe how well this has gone. And comparatively to everything that's come before it, this has been special and weird.
And it has...
And clever.
Personality?
It does. Yeah.
Yeah. And no fighting scenes.
No.
No need for that. Just... good writing.
I mean, I'm sure it's coming.
Probably, yeah,
it's
eventually.
for sure coming, but the fact that they have kept us so entertained up till now, and there's been none of that. Like, this is just exactly what I wanted. I'm so glad they're delivering.
I guess after this is the Spider-Man movie.
Yes.
It would come after this. And then after that, it's like the second Doctor Strange.
Yes, and I don't even know what to think of that Spider-Man movie. I'm hearing such crazy shit. Like
really?
Alfred Molina back as Dr. Octopus, and William Dafoe cast in it as Norman Osborn. Like, I don't know how this is going to work.
Well, they're clearly going for the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, but how do you... I don't know how it fits.
I feel like they're taking the good things of other movies, putting them in. Because I don't think that... what's his face? Willem Dafoe was actually one of the best things as the Goblin, the Green Goblin.
Excellent.
He was so good.
He didn't even need a mask.
No. And they should have gone with the mask instead of the suit, in my opinion. But
you mean the one that they went with? You mean the Goblin suit they ended up going with?
Yeah, instead of the suit, they should have gone with the mask, which is what the Green Goblin
Did you know that
wears.
They initially were?
Yeah, I heard they did, and then they scratched that and went with the outfit. Or
I think
whatever.
it was like Avi Arad or some producer at Sony that was like, we can't do that, it's too cheesy. But it was like an animatronic, comics accurate Green Goblin mask,
which I think would have been amazing.
Yeah, and
especially with that Sam Raimi.
The eyes
movie.
were completely yellowed out. Like, it looks cool.
I haven't seen it. Like, I haven't.
We can look it up after this.
Yeah, but it would have been great. But I guess they had to go with, this is Army.
It's Army tech. It's so grounded.
Oh my god, it's like action. Like, I feel like the Sam Raimi version of Spider-Man would have supported that. It would have been a great addition.
I agree, yeah.
Because it was straight out of the comics. Like, really, you got some parts straight out of the comics, and this one thing you couldn't get it out.
It was cheesy as hell.
It was so cheesy. Like, what difference would have it made?
Yeah, but the thing is, like, Peter's story in the last one ends up with, my identity has been revealed. Oh no. And now I feel like that's getting hijacked.
Oh, you mean
by Wanda's story.
In Far From Home?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, now it's like, okay, Daredevil fits because he's his lawyer. That makes total sense. Yes. But then Wanda's in it.
Give me that Charlie Cox.
Doctor Strange is in it.
Yeah.
Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, apparently. It's like, I don't know how it works.
You just have to have a little faith.
I have faith.
Have faith, Mikey. Didn't they teach this to you in, like, catechism? Have faith. A little faith. In Kevin Feige.
That's what I always tell my dad. Every time he gets worried, I'm just like, they did 23 good ones.
Calm down.
I'm trying to exclude Thor: The Dark World.
We don't talk about that movie. Or the first one either, really. We just skip right to...
The first one's watchable.
It's all right.
I enjoyed it.
And then we skip right to Ragnarok, and we're like, oh, okay, oh my god. I thought that was going to be like...
amazing.
Like, amazing.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's the end of this episode.
Yeah, that's the end of it. Any last thoughts? I mean, I guess you just said them, but...
Evan Peters is the devil.
The actual devil.
Yeah. The actor.
The actor. He's Lucifer from the DC comics.
Yeah, that's my guess. He's Lucifer.
No.
This is finally the DC crossover.
Yeah. DC crossover, Jesus Christ.
But yeah, I love it.
I just love everything.
I'm really excited for the next episode. Big shock.
Give me some more. I'll eat all of it.
What about you?
I don't really have any other comments. I just thought it was great. Can't wait.
Good stuff.
Like I said, my weeks are measured in WandaVision episodes now.
Oh, I haven't forgotten. I edit the episodes.
Oh, I keep saying that. I see.
No, you just said it last one.
No, I know. I said.
You said and
like
I said that
I said.
Look, this is just going to be us arguing. We should just cut it right now.
Right now. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So good. I love Marvel. I love Big Brother.
Uh-huh. They don't pay us anything. We're just like this.
We're just like this. We're just some two nerds. Just
Yeah, we're nerdy as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know Pixar is manipulating me when I cry at their movies, but why do you think I go to watch them?
'Cause I can't feel anything outside of the confounds of
Okay,
the
this
movie.
podcast is over.
Thanks for listening, guys. Bye.